truly believe that things like this, you come back stronger. Just finding the silver linings, finding the opportunities to learn, and it's really just the way you frame things and look at things and take an opportunity to grow.
In footy parlance, this is disastrous.
So he's in big trouble.
The first maybe 10 minutes, I was just in a fair bit of shock. I probably didn't realise how bad it was. I was almost wanted to try and walk and see if I could just get back out there. And then when it set in, the physios cut my boot and sock off, and we saw how bad it was. I just bawled my eyes out, and I think I knew what it meant straight away, and I think I could see the look on their faces as well, and Damien, our physio, and Etienne, our doctor, that it wasn't a good injury. So it was a weird couple of weeks at the start. As I said, it didn't quite feel real, and then I feel like the worst that it kind of got was probably the few weeks after that, just being kind of stuck on the couch and not being able to come in and socialise with the boys and stuff like that.
Yeah, so obviously when the injury happened, the first thing's just figuring out the severity of the injury and what exactly we're dealing with. So on the night we arranged some imaging to be done up at the Gold Coast to determine the severity of the injury, and that's where we, I guess, got the diagnosis that we had. And so from there it was about, what are the next steps? So we're fortunate to have a good relationship with an excellent surgeon in Brisbane, in Ben Foster. Credit to Ben, he saw Errol the next day and decided that the best course of action for Errol was to undertake surgery. Massive credit to Ben, he opened up his rooms for us on a Sunday for Errol to get his operation done in Brisbane.
My mum and girlfriend, Grace, the first 2 weeks they were unbelievable. They flew up to Brisbane, where I was, the next day after I hurt myself, and were with me for a week, and just down tools pretty much, and we're at my beckoning call, which was quite nice. So they've been amazing. All my family obviously have been great.
Let's get that. Yeah. Been 15 and playing Europa League. It's a lot of church.
Yeah, I got a text message from someone basically saying that they hated this for me, but they also loved it for me at the same time. And what they meant by that was, yeah, it's shit and it's one of the worst things that could happen. But the amount that I've learned over these past few months, and that what they knew that I was going to learn about myself and the areas that I could develop and grow, they also loved it for me. And I think just having that lens straight away and reading that message, and yeah, you probably don't realise how many people you've got in your corner until something like that happens, and it was really heartwarming. And I know my family and I really appreciated all the support, and obviously the boys and all the staff here have just been amazing. And yeah, that's been my motivation to get back, is I just want to get back out there with my teammates, and I want to get back out there for the fans, and yeah, just do the club proud.
How are we going? Having fun?
Not really. Brought out of my brains.
Yeah.
I'm getting really good at being able to walk on crutches though, which is the skill I didn't have before, so I've learnt that skill at least. Yeah, pain's been alright. It was pretty good, and then probably once I stopped taking kind of like the pain medication, I started getting, which Dogger suggested was like nerve pain, kind of, and it was referring through my toes and right at the bottom of my heel, and I'd kind of wake up in the middle of the night and it'd be really, really hurting. But I wasn't quite sure if it was maybe from like the moon boot as well.
Are you doing much resisted kind of calfy stuff or not too much?
Nah, literally just manual isometrics at the moment. He's still pretty irritable, doesn't really tolerate a lot. So we've sort of just been doing almost like passive range into plantar flexion, a little bit of isometrics into my hand, and that's literally about it. But we can probably start to push that a little bit.
Yeah, we'll put it this way, we're safe to sort of keep moving forward, but we want to do it at a pace really that doesn't make it miserable for you, so that you're not getting too swollen or sore, but we're still kind of ticking along and making a little bit of ground, or almost like it's like you're losing less through this next couple of weeks.
So start touch weight bearing. So literally it's more just you still use the crutches. It's just you're able to kind of take that little bit of weight through it. As tolerated. Obviously at the start it's going to be sore, and then you just got to naturally get sore and tear it.
This hasn't been changed since the afternoon.
Nah.
Looks elite.
I've got that Turkish healing. That's why.
Put the onions on it.
It's actually not that swollen either though.
No, the swelling's good. It's good. Like really good.
Yeah, I guess the early stages post-op, there's probably a few key things we want to do. The main thing is protect the area. So, we don't want to open the area up to any risk of infection. We want to really protect the wounds, and we just want to allow things to settle down post-op. So that was the key thing for him in the early stages. It was more about protecting it, and allowing the wounds to settle and his body to start the healing process. I guess outside of that, the other things we were really trying to work on was just getting his movement back, getting the movement in the ankle, starting some really low-level activation exercises for his foot and ankle. Just starting to get the muscles turning back on again after the operation. So that was sort of the key area for us in the early post-op days.
3 weeks since the surgery on my ankle that I had up in Brisbane. So I literally haven't done anything for 3 weeks. So today's the first day that I'm allowed to sweat. I just got the stitches taken out from the wound and stuff. So going to do weights for the first time today, and then a little bit of kind of off legs. So all upper body stuff for the first few weeks, and just slowly trying to get a bit of movement back through my ankle, and just trying to put a little bit of weight through my foot as well. I'm still in the crutches and in a moon boot, but yeah, it's the first kind of chance I'm going to have to exercise in a few weeks. So I'm keen to finally do something that's not sitting on the couch. It's been quite frustrating, obviously, and I guess to do it so close to the start of the season after doing a whole pre-season was probably the most frustrating thing. But yeah, I sat in the coach's box for the first time last week in the game against Brisbane, and that was a really good experience listening to the coaches, how they operate throughout a game. It was really, really good to see, and yeah, I feel like I've got to go in with the mindset that it's going to make me a better player in the long term, and just take it day by day. But I'm sure that I'll learn things by sitting in the coach's box, and yeah, it was definitely a different perspective. So that's probably where I'm at the moment. But yeah, it's probably just dawned on me the past few days how long this rehab's actually going to take, to be honest. So, but yeah, I'm just taking it day by day and see how we go, really.
What we focused on last week as well is the ball can move fast without us having to play on. So we want to take the ball, we want to turn and face the game. If there's an option there, we see it, hit it. Don't give them time to set up. That's exactly what they want. They want the ball played skinny so their defenders who come across. There is going to be opportunities at times to get out the back on fast play, but if we can lead up through them as well, they don't like that.
There's been obviously things at footy that I've worked on, so just I guess being able to see the game more holistically, and yeah, sitting on the bench was a great opportunity, and sitting in the coach's box and just seeing really what goes into the behind the scenes stuff from the coach's point of view and the build up to the game, and the review meetings, preview meetings, and just really diving into that and seeing the game from more than just my own perspective, and that was just super rewarding, and being able to be down there on the boys and stay connected with the team was great. So I've just learnt, yeah, a lot about, I guess, the way that the game flows a little bit better, and yeah, I think the flow and effect from decision making and tactical tweaks, stuff like that.
When you get to this point and you need the range, you want to have it, so you just lift your heel up early.
It actually doesn't feel it doesn't feel sore at all. It's just more like it just feels weird. Do you know what I mean?
Push. Can you go any higher, or it blocks you? That's better. Good. That's better. Nice. And so basically, what you keep going, but what you're doing is on this side, you're able to keep the knuckles down and push up. Whereas because you don't quite have the range here and through here because it's all been stiff, you see how you're just lifting this off to get the extra range.
There's rehabbing the injury, but there's also getting them back to their performance levels, and a key part of that is their conditioning. So, look, Errol is an absolute professional in every sense of the word, and to his credit, he cracked into his off-legs program. In the early days, we obviously couldn't do too much because we don't want to sweat too much. We want to allow the wounds to settle, but as soon as we were able to, he was doing a lot of upper body conditioning when he wasn't able to do a bike or run or do anything like that. So it was predominantly upper body in the early stages. And then once he was progressing to walking, we could start to get him onto the exercise bike and start to build his off-legs conditioning through that, while still building up his strength and range of motion of the ankle. Fortunately for Errol, he hasn't really been through something like this before in his career. So Errol's maturity levels are well beyond his age, and the way he sort of embraced it early and sort of embraced the challenge of getting himself back and getting himself back in the best shape possible is an absolute credit to him. There was always ups and downs throughout the process, but that's all part of it. But I think with every sort of hurdle he was faced, he was able to sort of meet it head on He really cracked into his rehab. Oh yeah, look, it's a real credit to him and the dedication he puts into his body and in looking after himself. So yeah, absolute kudos to him.
I'm doing this with shoes on, correct?
Yes. So I want you pushing through pain, just go to the point where you're like, yeah, okay, that's about my limit. It's just to get a bit of a baseline on where is it at right now, so that we can reassess over the next couple of weeks.
This pace in here right now is really, really nice and therapeutic. Well done, Errol. On the right first.
Yep. And build, go, go. And same thing. And build, go. And fuck, that hurt, man.
84%. It's good. Getting there.
Yeah, it's been a bit up and down. Obviously, once I got out of the moon boot and was able to walk again, it was really good. I felt like I'd made a lot of progress, but now I feel like it's kind of stagnated a little bit again. When the boys travel, in particular, it's pretty grim because this place is empty when usually it's filled with 40 of your best mates. So yeah, I guess that's been a bit of a challenge, but I started doing a little bit of running drilling, started doing some running in the pool. We've got a really good pool facility here, so we've got like a walking lane to do some running in, which has been really good, and just been able to get back on the assault bike and onto the actual bike now as well and do a little bit of cardio has been really good. So yeah, starting to progress it for the next few weeks, which is good. Ankle's been a bit sore, trying to push through some of the stiffness and stuff, but yeah, it's feeling decent, all things considered. Yeah, main focus is hopefully run on the Ultra G next week, which is a weightless treadmill, and you can kind of dictate what the percentage of body weight you use on the treadmill. So hopefully do that, and then yeah, just keep trying to get strength back into my calf. That's pretty much the big thing stopping me from running now is just the strength in my calf, so I don't kind of get back running too early and then injure myself again. So it's not a linear thing like the injury, which I thought it would be. Like you kind of feels like you've taken 2 steps forward, 1 step back at times. But yeah, hopefully the next 2 weeks be kind of running on the Ultra G, and then I'll be pushing physios to let me run on the grass in a couple of weeks, hopefully.
Training 70% body weight. At the moment it's about just getting a bit of load into his leg, assessing his response to that. We use this as a bridge between what he's been doing in the gym and progressing to overground run.
Yeah, so we don't like to use time as our criteria, so it was more around him ticking the boxes of being ready to start running on the Ultra G, and for us he was ready to do that at around the 8-week mark. So we ended up having about a week of running on the Ultra G, and it's more about giving him a bit of load through the ankle and just seeing how it responds. It continued to respond well, it wasn't swelling, he was maintaining his range of motion, so progressed the volume on the Ultra G, progressed the body weight on the Ultra G as a progression towards overground running the next week. So he spent about a week on the Ultra G, and then he started his overground running program the following week.
Eric!
Now this is like, I've never been this enjoyable running ever. I feel very top heavy. The ground's not in good nick. Right. It's just basically mud with like grass growing through it.
How's it feel to be running there?
So good. I'm very, very happy. Very, very happy.
Looks like you haven't had a day off.
Yeah, it's actually hurting.
Obviously, special shout out for Doggo. Yeah, he's been there on the days. He's been there every day for me, and on the days when I've probably been a little bit hard to deal with, he can be a bit of a punching bag. So I think he plays a role of rehab physio and probably a psychologist as well. So no, he's just such an amazing person, Dogger, as well. He's just so committed to our careers as players and to the team as well. And it's a really hard job seeing people at probably their lowest point in their career, and he just fills you with so much confidence. He knows when to push you, knows when to tell you to just ease up, and yeah, I've just got such a great relationship with him, as do all the boys here at the club, and yeah, he's one of the reasons I want to get back out there and hopefully perform well, because I would love to go out there and yeah, do him proud.
Yeah, so I guess, you know, throughout the rehab process there's a few stages that we go through. So the first one is obviously starting to run, where again it's just about reloading the ankle and assessing the response. As we progress through building running volume and running speeds. We start to introduce change of direction, start to introduce some low-level football skills. So all along the way, we're just assessing the response of the ankle and how it's tolerating to what we're giving it. All these things were sort of happening at once. He continued to tick all the boxes to show us that he was ready to progress. Once he regained his strength, once his power was looking really good, and once he'd sort of gone through those sort of more rehab skills and rehab-based running, he was then able to start to integrate into team training.
Yeah, so we've got Errol training today, sort of final few sessions for him before he returns to play. He's got a 10-kilometre running session today, along with a bit of skills involved. Hitting all his markers in the gym and hitting all his markers out here on field, so he's tracking really well. 2, 1, go! Nice, in and out, good. Decel. Last one. You got one more set.
The not so pretty side of rehab is the 8 AM sessions where it's just you and one physio and you've got to try and cover 10 to 12 Ks worth of running and skills. So yeah, your mental toughness is tested in those times, but yeah, looking back weirdly, they're also, you know, really fun, and you look back and I guess, yeah, some of those more challenging sessions are the ones where you, you know, feel the most rewarded after and you feel like you've got the most out of it. And yeah, the way I see it, it's just more deposits in the bank, and hopefully that makes the return to play run a little bit smoother.
Today's lesson, by the end of the lesson, so we're going to learn how to conduct a balanced turn at 30 degrees angle bank whilst maintaining altitude. Now it's important that last part, maintaining altitude.
All right, so we're here at Bankstown Flying School out at Bankstown Airport, so about 45 minutes from the SCG, and yeah, this is just where I've been doing yeah, my pilot's license on the side of, well, I haven't been playing footy this year, so I guess on the side of my rehab, but yeah, it's been really enjoyable. I think when I was really young, I just got this book about planes from one of my grandparents, and I feel like that was kind of where it started, but no, I've always enjoyed flying, I guess, and then the opportunity came up once I got hurt to have a bit of extra time to do something like this, and Colin O'Riordan used to play at the Swans. He's also started his pilot's license here, so I was talking to him about it, and I thought, why not? Today it's pretty windy, so we were going to do climbing and descending, but we're going to learn how to do some pretty steep bank angle turns, and just, yeah, pretty much work on getting turning down pat, so it'll be fun. Yeah, it's been great. I think that's probably been yeah, one of the few positives to come out of it. Obviously, I'd much rather be playing footy, but to have a little bit of spare time to pursue something like this has been really good. And yeah, especially on my day off like today, I guess, to split the week up nicely. So when I'm at the club, I'm feeling refreshed and ready to train hard. But yeah, also good to have something away from footy.
We did some turns, 30 degrees to the left, 30 degrees to the right. Yeah. Just be mindful that for a climbing turn, maximum 15 degrees. Gave you some multitasking at the end, so I actually got you to turn, not the 360, but I got you to turn onto a heading whilst continue descending. Yeah. Right, so you can see how once you've leveled off, let's say we're descending, once you've leveled off, you can really continue that turn.
Yeah, he just got me to practice turning basically, and making sure that when you turn, the plane doesn't drop too much altitude or gain too much speed. And yeah, when you fly in the training area, there's lots of other planes around practicing their turning and doing other stuff like that, so you just got to make sure you're keeping an eye out for them too. So it's a bit stressful, but it was good fun. It's definitely an adrenaline rush. I think that's probably also part of the reason why I enjoy doing it. Just like when you're playing footy, you get obviously a lot of adrenaline, so yeah, it was really good fun.
He's donating his first 12 match moments as well. So let's go. Get around me. Rotate the
Nah, I feel good. It was good to be back out there with the boys on the SCG. Yeah, I was very, very excited coming in today. So big milestone to have the first training session back with the boys, and just, yeah, so much fun. Focus has just been to build up the Ks and mostly through skills. So a lot less straight line running, a lot more change of direction, and just getting back into kicking and doing skill drills. Now I'm just going to be training up until we're playing, so hopefully play the week after the bye, so I'm not going to get a break over the bye week, which is why they gave me the days off last week, and just pretty much build up skills, have a little quick refresh, and then foot to the floor from now. This is from Foxy. He sent me this thing, it's called The Farmer That Lost His Horse. And basically it's just about a Chinese farmer who lost a horse, and basically all these good and bad things were happening to him. And he never said that anything was good or bad, and I guess the moral of the story is you never know the chain, the pattern, or the connection between events, and it's just how you perceive things and look at things. I think the biggest thing I would say is just a silver lining to everything, and yeah, I guess my mindset has just been there's nothing's inherently good or bad. It's just the perspective you have on it, and it's a lot easier said than done. It's there's times when it's really hard, and I definitely ran with the woe is me storyline a little bit. But the quicker you can snap yourself out of that and just look for the silver linings in everything, that there's lessons to be learned in every situation. And I truly believe that things like this, you come back stronger than what you were before. You improve areas where you were maybe not able to in the full flow of a season and things like that. So just finding the silver linings, find the opportunities to learn, and it's really just the way you frame things and look at things and take an opportunity to grow.
Get boys, this is fucking good.
Get in there. Let's go. Yes, lemon. That's it, boys. 2 lemons. First part, we have to step into the ring and get our hands on. That is the first part of what we have to do. Embrace the fucking contest and swing as hard as you can.
Gulden on his left, 3 deep. Gulden, fantastic crumb. On the left. Gulden, a sizzler to McLean. That's what they've missed. Gulden takes off, and they might get one on the rebound. They've got the man out in Papley.
Yeah, good. I'm pretty stuffed now, as you can imagine. Was blowing a bit. The first 5 minutes was pretty hot, but yeah, just so excited to be back playing footy. I've missed it so much, so yeah, just really happy. Just personally, I've felt a lot of love this week from the Swans fans, and it means a lot. So yeah, I'm just so happy to be back out here playing for the fans, and I'm glad we could get a good win for them.